Hi dear children, welcome to today's class. Today we are going to discuss the fifth chapter of 10th standard, that is Arithmetic Progressions. Actually, this is a certain type of patterns. This type of patterns we can see in nature also. Just look at this list of numbers. The first one is 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Second one is 100, 70, 40, 10, etc. Third one is 3, 3, 3, etc. Is there any speciality for these numbers? Can you find any relationship between the numbers? In first one, 2 is actually 1 plus 1. 3 is actually 2 plus 1. 4 is 3 plus 1. What is the speciality then? Each term is 1 more than the term preceding it. Each term is 1 more than the term preceding it. Now just look at the second one. 100 and 70, 70 and 40. What is the relationship between these numbers? Just take the consecutive numbers. 100 and 70. 70 we will get it 100 minus 30. And 40 is actually 70 minus 30. 10 is 40 minus 30. Alright. So here the relation is we can write this minus 30 as 100 plus minus 30. Any problem? 100 minus 30, we can rewrite it as 100 plus minus 30. And in the second one is 70 minus 30, we can write it as 70 plus minus 30. 70 minus 30, we can rewrite it as 70 plus minus 30. And 40 minus 30, we can rewrite it as 40 plus minus 30. Now just look at this. Each term we are getting it by adding minus 30 to the preceding term. Okay, each term we are getting, except that first term, each term we are getting it by adding minus 30 to the preceding term. Right. Now, in the third one, actually each terms are equal to 3. But still we can write it as 3 plus 0, 3 plus 0, any problem? Okay, 3 plus 0. Here also we are getting all the terms, each and every terms, by adding 0 to the preceding term. So, this type of list of numbers is called arithmetic progression. Okay, this type of list of numbers is said to form an arithmetic progression. This arithmetic progression, we will write it as AP. AP means arithmetic progression. And each of the numbers in the list, is called a term. Each of the numbers in the list is called a term. So what is a term? The numbers in the list. And what is arithmetic progression? Arithmetic progression, in that arithmetic progression we will have a pattern. Each number we will get it by adding a fixed number to the preceding number. Except the first number, all other number we will get it by adding a fixed number to the preceding number. So an arithmetic progression is a list of numbers in which each term is obtained by adding a fixed number to the preceding term except the first term. Okay. In the case of the first one, that fixed number is 1. Second one, minus 30. And third case, that fixed number is 0. Okay, this fixed number is called common difference. Fixed number is called common difference. Okay, and it is denoted by small letter d. That fixed number is called common difference and it is denoted by small letter d. Okay, just go through these 3 cases. The first case, that fixed number is positive. In the second case, that fixed number is negative. And the third case, the fixed number is 0. That means that common difference can be positive, negative or 0. Common difference can be positive, negative or 0. Right. Now just look at this. Each number we are getting it by adding a fixed number to the preceding term. Right. The first case. That fixed number we can find like 2 minus 1. We will get 1. 3 minus 2. That is also 1. And 4 minus 3. That is also 1. So if the terms in this AP, that is A1, A2, A3, A4, etc. Suppose the terms in AP are A1, A2, A3, A4, etc. Then this is actually A2 minus A1 and this is A3 minus A2 and A4 minus A3. Right? A2 minus A1, that is 1. A3 minus A2, that is 1. A4 minus A3, that is also 1. And that 1 is our fixed number and that fixed number is called common difference. So all these values are equal and it is equal to D. Now, since this AP has etc. we have means infinitely many terms we have. Etc. means infinitely many terms we have. So that AP is called infinite arithmetic progression. Okay, all these APs are called infinite arithmetic progression. Suppose your AP is like 4 etc. 10. Okay, we have only up to 10. Okay, that means that AP is, the last term of that AP is 10. It is finite. Only finite number of terms we have in that AP 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. 10. Then this type of AP is called finite arithmetic progression. Finite arithmetic progression. So what is finite arithmetic progression? If the number of terms in an AP is finite, then that is called the finite arithmetic progression. And if it is infinite, etc. is that is called infinite arithmetic progression. A fixed number is called common difference and it is denoted by D, and you can find that common difference by doing any one of those operations. Okay, it is not if the given list of numbers is AP, then it is not compulsory to take all these differences. You can take only one difference that will give the value of D. Okay, A2 minus A1, A3 minus A2, A4 minus A3. The differences of consecutive terms you need to take. Okay, consecutive terms you need to take. That difference will give the value of common difference. Actually, we are using this method to verify whether the given list of numbers forms an AP or not. Okay, if your question is like you need to check whether the list of numbers forms an AP or not, then you need to take the differences of the consecutive terms and check whether that differences are equal. If the differences are equal, then that forms an AP. Otherwise, it is not an AP. Okay, now again come back to the first one. I'm going to explain it with the first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Here this 1 we can write it as 1 itself. First term, there is no difference. 2 we can write it as 1 plus 1. Right? 3 is 2 plus 1. And this 2 again we can write it as what? 1 plus 1 plus 1 we will have. Right? Okay, in general we will write this is A1, this is A2, A3, A4, etc. Suppose the terms in AP are like A1, A2, A3, A4, etc. Okay, then A1 is equal to 1. And what is our A2? A2 is 2 and 2 we can write it as 1 plus 1. A2 is equal to 2 and 2 we can write it as 1 plus 1. Right? And what is this 1? That is our A1 actually. So we can write it as A1 plus 1. A1 plus 1. Now A3 is equal to, A3 is 3. 3 we can write it as 2 plus 1. 3 we can write it as 2 plus 1. And what is this 2? 2 is the value of A2. A2 plus 1. And A2 we wrote it as, what is A2? A2 we wrote it as A1 plus 1. A2 we wrote it as A1 plus 1. So A2 we can replace it by A1 plus 1 plus 1. Okay, now what is this 1? 1 is the fixed number here. Okay, that is our D. D is equal to 1. So I can write it as A1 is equal to 1. No problem for that. A2 we got A1 plus 1. Thus we can write it as A1 plus D because the value of D is 1. And here in this step we can write it as A2 plus 1 we have, that is A2 plus D. Now just replace your A2. A2 is A1 plus D. A1 plus D plus D. That is A1 plus 2D we will get. A1 plus 2D we will get. Now A4 is equal to 4. A4 is equal to 4. 4 we can write it as 3 plus 1 or A3 plus 1. Okay, 3 plus 1 or A3 plus 1. A3 we got it as A plus 2D. A1 plus 2D plus this 1 is the value of D. So instead of 1 I just wrote it as D. So A1 plus 3D we will get. Okay, now just look at this. A1 is equal to 1. A2 is equal to A1 plus D. A3 is equal to A1 plus 2D. And A4 is equal to A1 plus 3D. Okay, A1 is equal to 1. A2 is equal to A1 plus D. A3 is equal to A1 plus 2D. A4 is equal to A1 plus 3D. Suppose this A1 we are going to call it as A. Okay, A1, the first term we are going to call it as A. Then A2 is A plus D. A1 is, A3 is A1, A plus 2D. And this is A plus 3D. Like, we can continue like this. So, we took our AP as A1, A2, A3, A4, etc. Okay, this was our AP. And we got that A1 is A. And A2 is A plus D. A3 is A plus 2D. A4 is A plus 3D, etc. Okay, etc. This representation is called general form of an AP. This representation is called general form of an AP. So the general form of an AP is A comma A plus D comma A plus 2D comma A plus 3D comma etc. This is called the general form of an AP. And in this A is the first term and D the common difference. A first term and D common difference. Now A1 is equal to A, A2 is equal to A plus D. 2 and thus we can write it as A plus 2 minus 1D. Any problem? 2 minus 1 is 1. And this is equal to A3 is equal to A plus 2D. So we can write it as A plus 3 minus 1D. Okay, A3 and here we have 2. 2 is actually 3 minus 1. A4 and we have 3 here and that 3 we can write it as A plus 4 minus 1D. Okay, A plus 4 minus 1D. Then can you please tell me what will be A5? A5 is equal to A plus. Here we have 4, then that we wrote it as 4 minus 1. Okay, so here we have 5. We need to write it as 5 minus 1D or A plus 4D. A plus 4D, that is our A5. Then etc. an is equal to nth term. An is equal to, what you will get? A plus, instead of 5, 4, 3 and 2 we have n. So a plus n minus 1 into d. So we will get an is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. This is called the nth term of an AP. An is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. This an is called the nth term of an AP with the first term a and the common difference d, and to the formula to find out the value of an, that is an is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. A plus n minus 1 into d. Okay, and this an is also called the general term of the AP. An is also called the general term of the AP. Suppose our AP is finite and the last term, okay, suppose our AP is finite, then the last term, that we will denote it by L. First term we will denote it by A, and if your AP is finite, then the last term we will denote it by L. The common difference we will denote it by D, and the nth term, that is A plus n minus 1 into D. That means if you know the first term and the common difference, you can find any term in that AP by using this formula. Suppose our AP is 2, 4, 6, 8, etc. 2, 4, 6, 8, etc. First we need to check whether the given list of number is AP or not. We need to check whether the given list of number is AP or not. For that, what we will do, we will take the, okay, this is A1, A2, A3, A4. We need to take the difference of the consecutive terms. A2 minus A1, 4 minus 2 equal to 2. And A3 minus A2, that is 6 minus 4 equal to 2. A4 minus A3 is equal to 8 minus 6 is equal to 2. Now just look at this. All that differences are equal. That means the given list of numbers forms an AP. And that common difference D is equal to 2. Here the first number is 2. Therefore A is also equal to 2. Now suppose you need to find out the 10th number. Suppose you need to find out the 10th term in this AP. Okay, 10th term, second term A2, third term A3, fourth term A4. Then the 10th term, that we will denote it by A10. 10th term means A10. And we have this formula. We are going to use this. A plus, A is 2. 2 plus n minus 1. Here the suffix is n, but here the suffix is 10. So we need to write 10 minus 1. The value of n is 10. So 10 minus 1 into 2. That is equal to 2 plus 9 into 2. It is 2 plus 18 is equal to 20. So the 10th term, that is 20. So in these sections, they will give some list of numbers and they will ask us to check whether the given list of numbers forms an AP. Then you need to take the consecutive term differences, and if they are equal, then we can conclude that the given list of numbers forms an AP. Then that difference, common difference, take it as D, and the first term take it as 2. And if you want to find out any term in that AP, you can use the formula AN is equal to A plus N minus 1 into D. Here, suppose you need to find out A10. So the value of N is 10, because the suffix here it is 10 and here it is N. So the value of N is 10. Just use that formula. You will get the value. You will get the 10th term in your AP. By using that formula, you can find any term in that AP.